Salutations to all points of the triangle. Frater Kris here from the YouTube channel Sabrosa. Today I want to talk about sacred geometry, Platonic solids, and crystal grid healing. A Platonic solid is a regular convex polyhedron. It is constructed by congruent, meaning identical in shape and size, regular, all angles equal and all sides equal, polygonal faces, with the same number of faces meeting at each vertex. There are 5 solids that meet this criteria. The tetrahedron has 4 faces. The cube has 6 faces. The octahedron has 8 faces. The dodecahedron has 12 faces. And the icosahedron has 20 faces. The Platonic solids were named after the Greek philosopher Plato, who hypothesized in his Timaeus that the classical elements were made of these regular solids. The Platonic solids have been known since antiquity. We found carved stone balls from the late Neolithic period in Scotland, and these were thought to represent the Platonic solids. The ancient Greeks studied the Platonic solids extensively, crediting Pythagoras with their discovery. Plato's Timaeus, circa 360 BC, goes on at a great length about the Platonic solids and their correspondence to the 4 elements. Earth was associated with the cube, air with the octahedron, water with the icosahedron, and fire with the tetrahedron. The heat of fire feels sharp and stabbing like a tetrahedron. Air corresponds to the octahedron, its minuscule components smooth and barely felt. Water, the icosahedron, flows out of one's hand. In contrast, the Earth is the cube, or the flat plane, and the cube is also associated with Saturn. The 5th Platonic solid, the dodecahedron, was said to be used by God to arrange the constellations in the heavens. In the 16th century, German astronomer Johannes Kepler corresponded the Platonic solids with the known planets: Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn. Kepler's theory was that the distance relationships between the 6 known planets could be understood in terms of the 5 Platonic solids enclosed within a sphere. Eventually, this idea was scrapped, but from this research came his 3 laws of orbital dynamics. A sphere is not a Platonic solid. A sphere is a solid round body with every point on its surface an equal distance to its center. Spheres and the Platonic solids are examples of sacred geometry. Sacred geometry is a part of the ancient mystery schools and is still continued to be thought of as sacred to Freemasons, Rosicrucians, and other links in the Gnostic chain of esotericism and the Western mystery tradition. The star tetrahedron is not a Platonic solid, but it is part of sacred geometry. The star tetrahedron is also known as a Merkaba, or a Merkaba star. Mer meaning light, or counter-rotating light. Ka meaning spirit, and Ba meaning body. Thus, the union of the spirit with the body, surrounded by and encompassed in counter-rotating light. The Merkaba meditation is done by focusing on the body and soul as being one, and visualize being bathed in light, encompassed in this light, both counterclockwise and clockwise, going around yourself. The Merkaba is also the Hebrew word for chariot. Tarot enthusiasts will note the Merkaba's correspondence to the tarot trump number 7, titled the Chariot. The pattern on this crystal grid shows a symbol from sacred geometry known as Metatron's cube. Metatron's cube is the name for the 3-dimensional geometric figure composed of 13 equal circles, with lines from the center of each circle extending out to the centers of the other 12 circles. Metatron's cube also has a variant called the Fruit of Life. Metatron's cube is said to encompass all 5 of the Platonic solids. Metatron is the name of an angel mentioned in the second book of Enoch, also very important to the Western mystery tradition. The 6 petals in the center of this grid allude to the symbol known as the seed of life, which is the beginning of the flower of life. This crystal ball has the flower of life laser etched inside. The flower of life is both an ancient and modern symbol from sacred geometry. The flower of life consists of 19 circles attached to each other in such a way as to produce the Vesica Pisces, as in the Christian fish symbol or the shape of the human eye. It is said that sacred geometry is a lens through which we may perceive our reality to gain a new or different perspective. The flower of life was recently popularized by Drunvalo Melchizedek, initiate of many schools of esotericism, and the author of the workshop and 2-book series entitled The Ancient Secret of the Flower of Life, and the motivational and inspiring book Living in the Heart. For more examples of sacred geometry and the flower of life, check out my video, When We Created the World, Drunvalo Melchizedek. These crystals and crystal ball were purchased at a Bead Source gift shop in Portland, Oregon, and this crystal grid was purchased at the Fossil Cartel in Portland, Oregon. For examples of how to use a crystal grid and get different ideas, check out my videos, Sacred Geometry, Crystal Grid Healing, and Crystal Grid Healing, Star of David. And for an example of how to use a crystal grid to manifest your desires, check out my video, Crystal Healing Manifestation. For inspiration, I recommend Sacred Grid Therapies, Crystal Healing Treatments, and this was written by Bren Michael Simonin. And I also recommend Crystal Grid Work, The Power of Crystals and Sacred Geometry to Heal, Protect, and Inspire by Kiera Fogg. I'll provide links in the description to all 4 of these videos and both crystal shops. I'd just like to thank you for taking the time to watch my video, and it means so much if you would help me get my YouTube channel off the ground by sharing this video with your friends or on social media. Leave me a comment with your thoughts and ideas about sacred geometry, Platonic solids, crystal grids. Let me know what you like about the video or what you don't like so I can continue to improve my content. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up and please consider subscribing to my channel. Got lots of great content and lots more to come, new videos every new moon. Thank you for watching the YouTube channel Sabrosa. Sincerely and fraternally, peace profound and L.V.X.